we also see now a push for HR expertise at the board level. It's not something that we saw before COVID. And so if you take a look at a recent survey that we conducted of the TSX 60, it now shows that 7% of the new board appointments bring HR expertise as CHRO. How important do you think it is for boards now to have HR expertise?
Well, I would see me probably asking a rhetorical question, but I mean, we're late to the game. Like I talk to investors and pension funds and so forth, and in those areas, even when investment funds are acquiring companies, even in their operating practices, I believe they're late to the game because they should have operating partners who understand talent as well. So it's actually the board and as well what I would kind of call the investment space. And I think that 7% is unfortunate. It needs to be a lot higher than that. What I would say is that when you bring the talent piece to the table, you have to marry it with fit around the business, understanding how the business runs to be able to translate that into a talent strategy as well. I just think it's an imperative. And like you take a look at the skills matrix on proxies and so forth of what people require. And sometimes what I find disappointing is you take a look at it and you take a look at the incumbents who are extremely well qualified, but none of them have actually been in HR operating roles. And so it begs the question, why can't HR be at the table, and why would COVID have to be a catalyst for that? It's happened. And so let's use that as an opportunity to build on that that importance. And I think we're not, a lot of these companies are not fully automated companies. They rely on labor, people, and so forth. You see it today, the challenges, and it all kind of comes down to one denominator. So talent is critical, and that number has to keep climbing, Nancy.
I agree. And it's definitely something that we hear in the market more and more, as you well know. So aside from HR, like what are the other skills or experiences that you think boards could benefit from?
I think there is the whole piece on sustainability. We are obviously at a pivotal moment in the world in terms of many aspects of sustainability. And I think that is also a very, very critical aspect. I think there is a whole piece around risk and control that I think the boards are obviously managing that, but then there's the risk and control overlaid with the piece around talent. So I think people think about risk and control sometimes in a very traditional way. And so if you take talent as the foundation and you intersect that with the different areas of what you would require from a board, I think you will see the complete benefit of doing that. And individuals need to be able to come to the table in the board seat. It's much like the CHRO or the chief people officer role. Yes, you have a lane that you work in a good part of the time, but you need to get out of your lane too and help the business as well. So I believe it's also very similar at the board level.